Welcome to Unafraid Show Daily Live, where you get the most important things in sports explained to you quickly and honestly coming across. And we have a few things today. So, first of all, ARIKE Ogunbowale was the actual Olympic team snub and not Caitlin Clark. And I'll explain to you guys why. And why Joe Biden dropping out of the presidential race, I can relate to it because I went through it in my NFL career. And Arch Manning, he lied to us, man. He absolutely lied to us about the game, about EA College Sports 25. And we got to talk about that because I gave you guys the answer to this test months ago. And now here it is coming to fruition. But we're going to start today with Caitlin Clark because Caitlin Clark got left off the U.S. Olympic team, and obviously that drew the ire of many of her fans, and people were not exactly, happy about it. They were like, Team USA, they have messed up and growing the game. I'm no longer watching the Olympics. And they didn't really take into account that that's not the Olympic team's charge. That's the WNBA's charge, is to grow the game. The Olympic team is to put the best team together. And they did not do that because the actual snub was not Caitlin Clark. It is ARIKE Ogunbowale because number one, she's a better player. She's been in the league for 6 years already, and she has been an absolute dog since college. Now, you're probably, if you weren't a big WNBA fan, in recent memory, the thing that you probably remember the most about women's college basketball is ARIKE Ogunbowale. Let's flash back. Do you remember Notre Dame? They were playing in the semifinals of the women's Final Four, and she hits the game winner, clack it, and then came right back in the finals, in the championship game, and did it again. And everybody was like, yo, she's like Kobe. Well, that's ARIKE Ogunbowale. So now your memory is refreshed, right? You're like, oh my God, I do remember that. Of course you do. And do you know what she did in the WNBA All-Star game? Because in case you didn't watch, the WNBA split their All-Star team this year. They did Team USA because you had the women that are going to the Olympics like Sabrina Ionescu, Diana Taurasi, Aja Wilson, Brianna Stewart, Jewel Lloyd, that whole crew, right? And they were playing against the WNBA All Stars, which included Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, Ogunbowale, and crew. Well, the WNBA superstars, the WNBA All-Star team, even though that the players on Team USA would have been on the All-Star team for the vast majority, they ended up beating Team USA. And do you know who they were led by? ARIKE Ogunbowale. 32 points in the second half. She was an absolute menace. They could not guard her. And the highest compliment that you can get from your players is respect. And she earned the respect and has been, because she's been a 20-point a game person in the WNBA since she's been in there. 6 years, 20 points a game. And she finished with 34. Absolute incredible. And Caitlin Clark gave her a praise. She said, I'm going to let you hear what Caitlin Clark said. But she also said that ARIKE Ogunbowale cannot be guarded. She is by far the best one-on-one player. That's it. End of story. She is the best one-on-one player in women's basketball. That means, so why on earth would you not have the best one-on-one player on the Olympic team? But then you might say, George, she pulled her name out of consideration. Yeah, because she was getting left off the team and she was like, what the hell am I doing here? What more do you want from me? And she was 100% right. Now, what did Caitlin Clark do in the game? 4 points, 10 assists. She had a solid game. She didn't shoot the ball very well, 0 for 7 from 3. Will she be on the Olympic team next time? Yeah, because she's clearly getting better. But, such is life. She was not the real snub. ARIKE Ogunbowale was. So that's the first thing up for today. Next thing is President Joe Biden, dropped out of the presidential election, the upcoming one. And this obviously sent Twitter into a frenzy, sent the news media into a frenzy, even though you could kind of see this coming over the last few days because they have been breadcrumbing it. And it actually reminded me of my journey out of the NFL and out of pro football. Because I know you're like, hold on, George. You here talking about the presidential race? No, 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 no. This is my experience with it in terms of how watching Joe Biden at this point in time, I could just feel, and it reminded me of something that I went through. Because the truth is, in my personal opinion, that Joe Biden would not have been able to fulfill his presidential duties for 4 more years. Yes, he looks like he's slowing down, he's getting older, having trouble with things, 100%. And that reminded me of that because it takes a lot to voluntarily give up that seat. And it's the same thing that happened to me when I was in the NFL. When you realize, time's up, pal, because it is hard to give up that power, the fame, and in my case, your dream. Because there is no middle ground. You're either in the club or you're not in the club. You're either the president flying on Air Force One, having a security detail, all the good things that come with it, even though there are some bad things too, or you're out of the club. You're either in the NFL, in basketball, in baseball, whatever league you're in. You're either in the club or you're out of the club. You either have a nameplate in the locker room or you don't. There's no in between. And it takes a lot to give that up voluntarily because you can't pressure anybody to be willing to give that up. You just have to, relent and say, okay, it's over. And for me, that moment was I was playing with the New York Giants and I'd already finished my time with the Jacksonville Jaguars, go up to the New York Giants. I'm there, I'm excited, in a good position on the roster, and then my neck's hurting. And I'm like, I should go to the doctor. The New York Giants send me to go get an MRI out there because I was having trouble with my neck. Mind you, we're in off season. So our only practices are in helmets. We're not even in pads hitting people yet. So in there, go in, go get the x-ray, well, go get the MRI, and then I fly home because we have a little bit of time off. I get a phone call from the New York Giants. They're like, George, we can't clear you to play anymore. I'm like, well, hold on, time out, absolutely not. Now, at this point in time, my mind is sharp. I know more about playing tight end than I ever have. I am understanding how to take care of my body. Like all the things in 7 years that I'm like, yo, I find it, the light has come on. And mind you, I've already had one back surgery, I already had an ACL and a shoulder already. And that weighs on you too, because you get kind of sick of being hurt and all those things. So I get released. And that was hard and it hurt. But the fighter in me is like, hold on, G. I know my neck's a little busted up, but we'll rehab it, we'll fix it, just like I did all those other parts, just like I did my back, just like I did when I tore my ACL, when rotator cuff, just like I did all those things. I'll get my neck worked up and fine, and then I'll be able to play. Because there have been many players that have done that have had injuries, came back after the doctor said they weren't going to be able to play, and come back and play. So I decided to go to the UFL and go play for the Las Vegas Locos because I am going to show that my neck is healthy. I can get cleared to play and go play. Well, while I was in Vegas playing for the Locos, I was having trouble. I was having to take a Percocet and a Soma just to go to sleep. That's how bad my neck was hurting. And there was a realization and a point there. I was like, after this season, this is it. I'm done. I literally can't do it anymore. I've already rehabbed. I've already done every single thing that I could. And now that I can't sleep, I was like, there's no way I can play football. And that's what I feel like that Joe Biden came to. And that's what I saw when that happened, because regardless of who you're going to vote for, or anything like that, this was a human story to me. Because if he's sitting there saying, I can't make it 4 more years, I was sitting there saying, I can't make it through an entire season. Like, there's no chance I can make it through an entire NFL season. So, what am I doing here? And that's how I related to Joe Biden as it related to my NFL career. Last thing up today, ARIKE Manning and college football 25 because we are all excited about this game. I have been playing this game probably more than I would care to admit at this point in time. My family doesn't know. Nobody knows how much I've been playing. I haven't been getting a lot of sleep. I have absolutely destroyed my last week playing this game, but I'm back focused and ready to go. I let my nostalgia get to me. And I made a video about this last week or the week. And well, whenever I make the video about it, you guys can go check it out on Afraid Show and make sure that you guys like, subscribe, tell a friend, everything in between. Played the game way more than I should. And I told you guys that this is what us old people were going to do. We were going to go back in time and feel good, and the nostalgia was going to hit us. And then all of a sudden, we were going to get slapped in the face. Like, hey, yo, buddy, there's work to be done. There's money to be made. There's kids to be driven to activities and everything in between. So back to regularly scheduled programming. And that's what happened with Arch Manning. Because Arch Manning lied to us. And I told you guys so. Told you guys so. Remember when he said that he was not going to be in the game? And it made me laugh. Because he said, well, via his representatives, that he was not going to be in the game because he wanted to concentrate on football. And I'm like, concentrate on football? How is taking your $600 or whatever you negotiated for an additional marketing fee? Why is that not focusing on the game? Well, here we go. Arch Manning, according to reports, got in between $50,000 and $60,000 to market NCAA 25. Oh, so what? Huh? So that brings up two parts. There's two parts to this question. Why was NCAA so gung-ho on Arch Manning and Eli Manning doing that commercial together? Why were they so gung-ho on that? That's a two-parter. I believe it is for two reasons. Number one, everything is for sale. Everything just ain't on sale. And Arch Manning and his representatives the whole time, that was their plan. They say he's not going to be in the game. Because remember, it turned into a media story. Instead of every other player being asked the exact same thing, they did that to drum up some interest and see what the interest was. And it turned out it was worth $50,000 to $60,000 to get him to market the game. Genius move. But now the question is, why was it so important to them, to EA, to get him in the game? Bingo. That's the gotcha. Because from what I understand, Arch Manning looks really, really good. He looks really, really good. But why would a backup need time on the video game or could even market it, aside from him being Arch Manning? Well, check this out. Here is my personal belief from things and whispers that I've heard surrounding the Texas program, is that in the beginning of the year, of course, Texas is going to have, some games that they expect to be blowing people out at the beginning of the season. And Arch Manning is going to play in those games. He's already used his redshirt year. So now he's going to come in, get a chance to come in, and get a chance to play. Well, here is what I understand, is that if Quinn Ewers is not playing at the level that they expect, do not be surprised if Arch Manning gets an opportunity as they head into Big 12 play. Yes, the kid that's on the front of the video game, Quinn Ewers, there is a potential that there could be some sort of quarterback change if the season is not, even if they're winning. And remember, we've seen this before. You're like, George, how could this possibly happen? Quinn, possible first round pick. Listen, don't even matter. We've seen this before and recently. Look what happened at Oklahoma with Spencer Rattler and with Spencer Rattler and Caleb Williams. Remember what happened with those two players. Spencer Rattler was talked about as a potential first round pick. And he clearly is an NFL player. He got picked later. And he got replaced as a freshman while Oklahoma was still winning. Same thing happened at Clemson when Trevor Lawrence took over. They had just been to the national championship, I believe, the year before. And then you put a freshman in? Why though? And the same thing happened at the University of Oregon. Darren Thomas took Oregon to the national championship against Cam Newton. And the coaches at that point in time knew and informed him Marcus Mariota would be competing for the starting job next year, and that they thought that he could win it. And that's why Darren Thomas left with a year of eligibility going on. And Marcus Mariota, obviously storied college career. So this is not new. And this is what I want you guys to watch out for, because this could potentially happen if Texas is not thriving at the level that they want to. It has nothing to do with losing a football game, nothing. If they are not executing at the level on offense that they intend to, that they expect to, there could be a change. And you guys, that is Unafraid Show Daily Live for today. You guys make sure that you like, subscribe, tell a friend about the show, and make sure to come back every Monday and every Wednesday. Peace out. Catch you guys later.